Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. So, I wanted to take some time to address a few emails that I had received that were pretty interesting, and then, call it kind of like an extension of something I talked about a week or two ago regarding the no signature option through shipping, which has gotten a lot of feedback, and it was certainly worth the conversation because it's preparing everybody for this whole different kind of way of operating, kind of like trying to sell online. And when it comes to high dollar value items, it couldn't be any more important to know what your limitations are and what you can get away with. And people are actually taking advantage of some of the, I guess, kind of like gaps, um, lapses. Yeah, never mind. Taking advantage of some of the gaps in the system for either their own financial gain or to really deceive the public. Okay, so we have another one here for you. And because of just the spiking prices in silver and gold, there has been a secondary market demand for anything silver. Okay, in the case of this individual right here, her name is Jennifer, and she actually wanted to talk about purchasing silver proof set collections on Instagram. Okay, which Instagram has all of a sudden become a very popular kind of like source for buying not only this stuff but for all collectibles. It's kind of like the trendy today platform for a lot of the 18 to 25-year olds. Um, so we're seeing a lot of that. But Jennifer had mentioned that she purchased a large bulk lot of not only proof sets but mint sets. The seller was actually located in another state and had listed this item onto a different, I don't know, platform or whatever the case may be, where you can't see where they're from. And she messaged this individual directly to make the sale. Okay, you gotta be absolutely freaking careful when you're dealing with people on not only Instagram but also some of the other sites where um, there's no, I guess, support when it comes to your purchases. There's none whatsoever, which is why Facebook has kind of like dialed down the number of groups that actually do sales because of all these issues. So Jennifer had mentioned that she went ahead with the transaction. It totaled $340, okay, and another $15 for shipping because it was going to be shipped in a medium flat rate box. So she went through with the transaction. She didn't think anything of it, but the guy opted for a different payment other than PayPal. She didn't specify what that is. There's a few like kind of like third party um, payment sites, and apparently they're not the best sites to use because again, there's no buyer protection, right? All right. So she went and paid this. It's not Venmo, but it's a different type of electronic payment service. And she received the coins, and after doing some inspection, a few of the sets were missing. There were two other sets that were included, but were all clad sets, where the seller promised me all 90% sets. And sorry, I couldn't understand what it said here, but there were supposed to be 12 sets that had 90% coinage. So a couple of the mid 90s silver proof sets and a couple 1964 and 1963 proof sets also had 90%. A lot of the coins came damaged in the holders. They were just thrown into a box. And instead of receiving 90%, she received 40%. So there's a lot of like there's a lot of things that went wrong in this transaction. Um, After doing some research, I lost about $65 on the transaction, and I cannot get a hold of the guy. So things are like this are happening, and what it really comes down to is if there's a lot of signs that you have to be on the lookout for. Okay, one of them is if you're not using PayPal, because PayPal does cover you in the event that you didn't receive the product as described, you have recourse to get your money back. Um, and apparently the photos were not sufficient enough. And then second, she's buying from someone out of state, which is pretty tough. Okay, and then apparently the person, this individual, ended up closing their Instagram account, and they are no longer to be found. All right, so chalk it up as kind of a lesson, but because of just the fever pitch of silver and gold just shooting up, it's making a lot of people that 10 years ago were not around to take part in the investment of these precious metals, okay, and then all the surrounding, I guess, kind of like numismatic type products that go into silver and gold. Um, it's forced a lot of people to kind of jump into the pool head first before seeing if there's water. Call it FOMO. It's like, if I don't get it, I'm gonna miss out, and then the world is just gonna end. And that's what's happening here. It's people are simply not doing the research. They're working and they're acting, reacting strictly on emotion, and that's wrong in today's landscape, considering that this was a semi decent sized collection. And nothing to Jennifer's fault. I mean, she did everything she can. I think I would probably have stopped the transaction when that person wanted to use a different payment method other than PayPal. I only trust PayPal. There are very few electronic payment kind of apps and resources that I would ever use for something like that. So give me 1 second. And apparently, we're seeing a lot more of this on eBay too. But it's all stuff that you can report. Just the misrepresented products being sold on eBay. A lot of the coins, again, circling back to precious metals and things of that nature. People are misrepresenting what they have and trying to sell it, and then people just don't know any better. All right, and I've caught a lot of people actually selling plated. They're the silver plated copper bars. I don't know if you guys seen it before, but they weigh about an ounce. Okay, they weigh pretty true to a full ounce of silver, and then there's like a little art bar with a design on it, that says 1 ounce, okay, of silver. Come to find out that they're plated. They're plated over copper, and a lot of that stuff was pretty prominent during the mid to late 90s. There were a lot of coins, a lot of silver, a lot of kind of like buffalo style, not only silver plated, but gold plated coins that were plated over a core of copper. And it was very popular during that time. There was even a lot of infomercials on TV that did that sort of thing. There was even, if you opened up the Sunday paper, you guys remember a newspaper for some of you out there that lived during the 80s and 90s, you opened up the Sunday paper and there would be an advertisement like, hey, get your, 999 fine, gold buffalo, it's like 2001. And, there was a reason why they're selling it for $39.95. Again, that's how much they were selling it for in the newspaper. And we're beginning to see kind of like the recycling of that product today on eBay. Okay, I actually had one gentleman that contacted me and said, hey, you know what? I've noticed kind of like this uptick in these old silver plated copper, bars and coins and all that great stuff. So those are out there. I just want you guys to know that if you are going to be purchasing those, just make sure that you're buying legit, true triple nine or quad nine fine silver. Um, and make sure they have a return policy. Oftentimes, if there's no return policy, the good news is you are still covered under the eBay buyer protection. Don't fall for some shifty shenanigan bullcrap like that. It is all out there, guys. Okay, we're seeing more not only people capitalizing on the fact that silver is nearly double the price of what it was about 60 days ago. And number two, okay, number two, this is also important. I don't even know what number two is, but we want to just be mindful of what the price of silver is in relation to a lot of products being sold. People are jacking up the premiums on not only triple nine fine silver, okay, generics, all right, but you could almost imagine how much like Silver Eagles, Canadian Maple Leafs are going for as well. They are just crazy right now. And the justification of paying like $35 for one of these coins, especially the generics, just does not seem warranted. I think a lot of people are playing on the speculator part of it, and they're playing on the just the fear of missing out component to a lot of people. People, can sometimes be very impulsive when there's a shift or a change in the economy. They need to do something about it before it's all gone, right? It's like buy it now. We only have 40 of them available. Once they're gone, they're gone. So that's something as well to keep an eye out on. There is just a lot of things going on crazy. The secondary market is extremely active. A lot of the stuff that was once affordable is starting to kind of creep outside that range, and that even goes for graded coins as well and all of its types. We're seeing just staggeringly increasing prices on tier 2 type coins. Okay, tier 2 being not necessarily the highest grade, but maybe a grade under it or a grade under that. We're just it's people are asking probably anywhere from about 75 to 150% more over market for basic coins. Okay, I think the idea that if a coin is in a holder, whether it's a PCGS or NGC, all right, the premium is warranted without taking into account the actual grade level, the pop figures, the desirability of such a coin. Now, this coin right here, this Roosevelt dime, is a really pretty looking coin. By the way, I'm giving this away on my 150,000 subscriber special in about a week. Actually, this weekend. It's this weekend. It's not even a week. It's going to be this weekend. But because it says full torch on there and all that great stuff, people are asking just a world's amount more money. All right, and then playing on the naive factor of a lot of buyers out there who are really trying to get in to the game. And some people are late, and therefore they're paying the ultimate price, because guess what's left? There's a lot of table scraps out on eBay, and that's going to largely affect the consumer confidence of a lot of people that buy these. Come to find out that they've overpaid by like a huge margin. Sorry, my dog's going nuts right now. But anyways, that's really what I wanted to talk about. So I had mentioned that I'm doing a 150,000 subscriber special. I want to thank all you guys for, being such loyal followers. Some of you just don't care much for me, and I understand for whatever reason. But I couldn't. This channel would not exist without you guys, and I wanted to take that time to not only express my gratitude to each and every single one of you out there in YouTubeverse or a loyal Blue Ridge Silverhound patron fan. It's just amazing, just the amount of just pouring of support. And even though I don't get back to a lot of you, which is probably 95% of you, all right, because there's a lot of you out there. I just want each and every single one of you to know that your voices are being heard. And keep in mind, this Thursday, we have the live coin Q&A. I believe this week it's going to be spearheaded by Paula Bloom. So go ahead and check that out. I will be in attendance for a few hours. Should be a lot of fun. If you got coin questions, come check us out at checkmycoin@yahoo.com. And Yeah, should be a rip-roaring good time. That's what I always say. But anyways, that's going to do it. Again, just be mindful that that the landscape out there of e-commerce when it comes to precious metals and coins is very, very active, and there's a lot of people, a lot of goods out there that aren't exactly tried and true to their listings. Make sure you pay attention to that. You don't want to have to return stuff, waste your time, waste your money paying for shipping. Let's just all be kind of like careful with that stuff. Anyways, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this evening. I want to thank you guys again. Go ahead and check out the 150,000 subscriber video in my video feed. Should be probably maybe 10 videos in. You'll see it. It's in my title. And go ahead and take part. Should be a lot of fun. So, take care, guys. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you on the next coin video.